So it's been a stressful week for me, but I want to give you all a little update and say that I was able to stay in touch with my parents throughout most of Hurricane Milton, and luckily they are fine outside of being a little shaken up and going without power and dealing with some minimal damage and debris. They said that the second half of the storm, after the eye passed over, was way more intense than anything they'd been through and was way more violent than the first part, but they're fine. And the same can't be said for others in the state of Florida because the storm surge hit multiple areas, leaving them underwater, and the north side of the storm inundated towns away from the coast with torrential downpours and destructive winds. But nothing could compare to the tornadoes that spun off from the southeast side.
3 tornadoes at once, just all sitting on the coast.
It was crazy.
Like the horsemen of the apocalypse.
The tornadoes that were going across highways and hitting towns that were on the other side of the state, that was nuts. Those hit areas that were previously thought to be on the safer side of Milton's path. Regardless, it's been stressful, and I just want to start the episode out with some silly stuff this week before we get into more election coverage and stuff like that.
Ugh. Also, we filmed this before the big Tesla robotaxi reveal, but we'll make sure to cover it on Weekly Weird News if there's anything worth talking about. There almost certainly will be, because Elon cannot appear in public without embarrassing himself in one way or another at this point.
Mm-hmm. Will Zaslav make an appearance? We'll see.
Yeah, so by the time this goes up, you know more than us. And I'm jealous. So feel free to talk about it in the comments. But let's start this episode out with a look at a growing trend online. The LinkedIn Lunatics. Now, neither of us have had to suffer through the pain of LinkedIn in many, many years. Mine has not been updated in, I believe, 13 years. You can still find it. I don't know how to get rid of it. It's there.
I updated mine after we left Machinima, but that's the last time I looked at it.
Mine doesn't even include Machinima.
Wow.
It's a pre-Machinima artifact.
Amazing.
But yeah, that's thanks to you kind folks who watch and support our show. We don't have to deal with that crap, but we've witnessed some of the more miserable LinkedIn posts over the years. It's a fascinating parallel universe. Sometimes it's mutuals screen capping other mutuals who have turned into such corporate bootlickers that they're almost unrecognizable.
You know who you are if you still watch this show.
Yeah. Do you feel called out? Good. Some have just gone full crypto to the point where there's no coming back, and they're essentially locked into a never-ending attempt to hype up their friends and followers into thinking that another surge is right around the corner, guys. It's basically Amway for middle-aged white dudes.
Yeah.
Some LinkedIn posts are so absurd that they make their way onto our timelines and various subreddits like r/LinkedIn Lunatics. And we'll get to some of those. But this week, we're pretty sure that we saw some posts that might never be topped.
Now, one such case is Ryan Salame, and I'm gonna keep calling
Ryan Salami?
because if I don't say salami, I'm gonna fuck it up the other way. So it's salami. Sorry, and you deserve it because you worked at FTX. One such case is Ryan Salami, who had worked his way up from consulting and advisory firm Ernst & Young to become the chief of digital markets for cryptocurrency exchange FTX. You see where this is going. As you'll recall, FTX got in a little bit of trouble with the federal government a few years back.
What happened to Sam Bankman-Fried and Carolyn
Ellison?
Are they okay?
By a little bit of trouble, we mean that they went bankrupt after being exposed as one of the largest Ponzi schemes in history, which led to a federal investigation and the arrest of countless employees, including the company's CEO, Sam Bankman-Fried, and, you guessed it, chief of digital markets, Ryan Salami. We don't really need to go over the whole FTX story, but suffice to say, nearly everyone that was heavily involved in the operations of that company has been facing or is already serving some serious jail time. Now, outside of his role at FTX, Ryan Salami had also decided to fund a conservative super PAC called American Dream Federal Action, aimed at backing Republican candidates who, they say, would protect America's long-term economic and national security by advancing smart policy decisions now.
And those decisions start with, come on, cutting us a little slack.
Deregulating all that crypto nonsense.
Get Sam out of his cell and back in the boardroom, baby.
A couple of pardons would be nice.
Yeah. So Ryan Salami.
Salame? What is Salam?
Ryan Gabagool
Yeah.
pleaded guilty to violating campaign finance laws and operating an illegal money transmitting business just over 1 year ago. In addition to paying over $10 million in fines and restitution, Salami was sentenced to 7.5 years in federal prison for his role at FTX. And apparently this week he finally reported to prison. How does everybody know this? Not through some updated article in the New York Times or the Washington Post, but because of his actual verified LinkedIn profile, where he updated it to read as follows, amidst a cheerful graphic featuring a bunch of cartoon people dancing around a cupcake with the phrase, starting a new position. Ryan Salame, previously co-CEO FDM, FTX Digital Markets. I'm happy to share that I'm starting a new position as inmate at FCI Cumberland. And the FCI stands for Federal Correctional Institute. Sounds pretty prestigious to me.
Oh, FCI Cumberland? Oh, wow. I mean, my kids just went to Yale and Harvard on sports contract, so that's pretty cool.
He must be a legacy. You gotta know a guy who knows a guy to get into FCI Cumberland.
That's a pretty big deal, and it's going to look great on your LinkedIn resume, Mr. Salame.
Honestly, going from LinkedIn to locked up for financial crimes is probably the pinnacle of that platform.
I mean, it has to be. And certainly not the first or the last person to go from LinkedIn to locked up. But one of the other issues with LinkedIn, though, is that it's absolutely filled with AI bots now, and of course, plenty of spam, especially when the profile belongs to someone who's ever been involved with crypto. So the comments section of his post, it was generally supportive, without a shred of irony. Just a bunch of people who may or may not exist typing out comments like, "Congratulations, wishing you luck in your new role. Congrats, confetti emoji. And probably the darkest of all, congrats, Ryan. I wish you many more years of celebration. Well deserved." From poster Bob Dickerman. And look, that might be a real name, but it's also very funny. And as far as this being a real post, it is. It's on his actual profile. This has been verified by numerous outlets. And also, Business Insider had previously pointed out that Ryan Salame, he has been doing the well-known tactic at this point, posting through it. He has been posting through it the entire time that he's been under investigation and facing trial, with one article earlier this year saying, as he awaits the start of his sentence, Salame is using his remaining weeks of freedom to post nonstop. The former FTX executive has returned to social media and re-entered the public discourse, weighing in on politics and crypto policy and joking about his future in prison. Since his May 28 sentencing, Salame has posted to X, formerly Twitter, more than 700 times, often dozens of times a day.
I mean, that's a prison of your own making.
Yeah.
But I feel like...
How is he going to survive without access to X, the everything app, in prison?
It's kind of almost sad that this guy is so far down the grind set rabbit hole. Like, if I was sentenced to prison and had the 6 months or whatever before I was going to be locked up for several years, I would not be spending my day posting.
Well,
I'd be outside, and if I was Ryan Salame, I'd be down at the local deli trying out those meats for the last time in a while.
but that's the thing. That's just the thing, Elliot. Once he graduates from FCI Cumberland or whatever the fuck it is, Cumberland, he'll be able to post what I learned in my 7.5 years locked up as it relates to integrated marketing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the book right there.
Yep.
But since we're on the topic of LinkedIn Lunatics, things have gotten so bad on that site that it has spawned plenty of its own memes, most of which deal with major life-altering events and how, instead of learning anything about themselves personally, they choose to parlay the experience into a bunch of corporate jargon that will impress their potential bosses. There's this classic post that has spawned countless variations in recent months. I proposed to my girlfriend this weekend. Here's what it taught me about B2B sales. God. The post continued, listing 7 things that somehow relate to his marriage proposal, but it starts with, like a well-run sales cycle, key milestones must be met throughout the relationship to ensure a closed-won status at the end. God, you're not human.
No.
We're not gonna read the entire post, but yeah, rest assured, it's insane. And it follows with, follow me for more tips.
I don't think I will.
I hope his wife is into that kind of thing.
Well, we'll see how long that lasts.
One good side effect of this insanity is that some accounts have started to absolutely nail satirical versions of these types of posts. And we're not sure if this next one is real or satire, so we'll just show it first. Now, back in April, some dude named Tom updated his LinkedIn status to read as follows. I'm happy to share that I'm starting a new position as deceased at none. And his profile indeed reads, deceased, April 2024. Is that guy dead?
I think he's dead. Congratulations. Confetti emoji.
Officer down.
These next 2 are the best that we could find from one sole poster who has made it his mission to post the most unhinged shit on the LinkedIn timeline. So for a moment, let's sit back and enjoy a brief, very brief episode of LinkedIn Text Theater from a poster named Ken Cheng. I initially rejected a candidate's CV twice, However, when he applied a third time, I decided to invite him for an interview. We offered him a role immediately after the interview. Why? Because I realized he was the brother to a mega famous pop star. Now, a year later, he's terrible at his job and costing the business a lot with his mistakes. But I get a VIP booth at his sister's concerts. Sometimes money and profit isn't everything. Status is also important.
Yeah, I don't know. That could be real.
That's why it's great satire.
Yeah, because, I mean, with these business guys, I mean, that is, status and appearances are just as important as actually shipping a good product.
The stuff I've seen posted on Twitter and on Reddit from LinkedIn would rival any brain-poisoned poster on any social media site. LinkedIn people are built different.
Oh, it's way worse. I'd rather be hanging out with 4chan basement dwellers than these LinkedIn freaks.
It's a surprise that anyone that posts on LinkedIn daily, if not hourly, gets anything done at their real jobs. So why would anyone want to hire anyone on LinkedIn?
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Anyway, here's a more recent post, and one that really caught our eye. Once again, from Ken Chang. I was giving a presentation to the whole office, and it switched to another tab abruptly. It was porn. I was mortified. Many were sympathetic, laughed it off, and said it was just a mistake, and I'm only human. I even got a few DM slides from employees who were intrigued about my habits, but I decided to keep things professional at work by not replying until I was at home. However, one employee, Jeff, came in to tell me he found it a bit inappropriate that I had a porn tab open at work. I fired Jeff immediately. I find being judgmental of others' innocent mistakes to be a major red flag, and it was a perfect way to root that out. The twist? I pulled up that porn tab on purpose. I wanted to weed out the prudes with their outdated don't look at porn at work moralism. I'd never make a rookie error like that. I've been watching porn at work for 20 years. Okay, I think Ken Chang's he's doing satire.
Yes, that one, obviously
that
very
one
good.
Went over the edge. The first one, but that one, I hope it's satire. Jesus.
Yeah, would never make a rookie mistake like that. And he weeded out problem people at the job. These are human mistakes.
Yeah.
Don't be so critical all the time.
In the age of woke,
Yeah.
the age of Me Too, you got to be a little bit sly about weeding out the prudes.
That's right. But speaking of LinkedIn and how much of a nightmare that platform is, even outside of the typically cringe-inducing, though sometimes funny posts, it is yet another platform that is being exploited by AI in new and exciting ways. We all already mentioned the AI bot profiles when discussing the Salami Guy's career-changing post, but a recent article by 404 Media shows off one way that AI is working for the potential employees, until everyone starts doing it, and then it destroys countless HR departments by flooding them with applications. Now, the good news is they probably deserve it, and they're probably already using AI to sift through the candidates anyway.
They absolutely are.
So this is, again, just another example of robots shitting into each other's mouths while data centers consume endless supplies of water. Anyway, here's more on this new AI bot that streamlines the job application process for you, and in some cases, they claim to have applied to 2,843 jobs while they just sat back and watched or just did anything else that is a far better use of their time, like eat breakfast or learn about B2B sales. That's business to business sales.
Yeah, B2B. Machinima was an M2M.
That's right.
We're not an MCN. We're an M2M.
What did that mean again when they switched to that?
Mail to mail. No, it was I don't remember.
Yeah, it was a word that they
made a
up.
big deal out of it, though. God. I mean, I think
media to media? Member to member? No, that's space docking.
I don't know. I experienced more than enough LinkedIn culture during that period of my life.
When one of the new CEOs took over, he made everyone in the company and bought everyone a copy of The Lean Startup. And that book might as well have been a dictionary of garbage jargon terms.
Yeah, I read about half of it and I was like, this is dumb. Is this like all this stuff's like really fucking obvious.
Yeah.
This is what business people, business leaders, like, this is what they're reading? Are they all stupid?
Yes. Yes, they are. Anyways, here's that article.
Before I put my laptop aside at the restaurant I'm working at, I open a terminal window, enter a single command, and hit enter. The server gives me my breakfast, and I push my laptop away as the bot springs to life, opening a Chrome window and navigating to LinkedIn. It starts scrolling through job listings and opens a few of them. I watch the bot find a job at a company called Alpha Lion and click Easy Apply. It enters my biographical information, generates a resume, and writes a cover letter. It tells Alpha Lion I am authorized to work in the United States, that I do not mind remote work and in fact prefer it, that I have not served in the military. It explains that I am particularly drawn to Alpha Lion's commitment to personal excellence and innovation in sports nutrition, and that I am looking forward to the opportunity to discuss how my skills and experiences align with the goals of Alpha Lion, and how I can help propel your video marketing efforts to new heights. It clicks apply. I take a bite of my toast.
Now it continues highlighting other applications and specific things that the bot wrote, which are very funny, and they went ahead and submitted that stuff for him before explaining how the bot all works, which reads in part, "This is Auto Jobs Applier AI Hawk, which is currently trending on GitHub and is one of the most popular new projects there. It is actively being used by thousands of people to use AI to automatically apply for jobs on LinkedIn at scale. It is essentially a Python program that navigates LinkedIn and uses an LLM, OpenAI's GPT products and Gemini both work, to generate custom cover letters and resumes based on a series of biographical details that a user codes into a script and tweaks them as necessary based on the job description and other information that the company has put on LinkedIn." Now, he goes on to say that the bot isn't perfect, but also highlights a few testimonials that were posted by users in the project's Telegram chat.
Ran it overnight, applied to around 150 jobs. Got an HR call this morning, and I'm just getting started, lol. I'm gonna have it run 24/7, one user wrote. Planning to apply to thousands of jobs. This time I, the candidate, have the leverage, not some random HR. I've been using the platform for a little over 3 months now, during which I applied to 2,843 roles, another user wrote. In that time, I've had 4 interviews, received 1 offer for a senior data engineer role at £85,000, and I'm awaiting feedback on another offer pending the results of a test.
How bleak is it that that person automatically applied for 3,000 jobs and got 4 callbacks?
Well, that's the thing is,
and a lot of these companies just have job listings so that they appear to be open.
That's what I was about to say. That's another lean startup pro tip is, even if you're not hiring, always make it look like you're hiring.
Yeah.
Because that projects success. So yeah, I don't know the exact figure, but it's like at least half of all job listings online, there's no job. So I totally understand where everyone's coming from with just have the AI just mass apply to all these jobs, because this is so fucking pointless. Like, applying to almost 3,000 jobs and getting 4 interviews is insane.
It is. And aside from that, as we've been over with the bots talking to each other previously, this is another example of why AI fails in a spectacular way. Because now, with everything being automated, no one's talking to each other. No. It's just robots bouncing a ping pong ball back and forth.
Robots talking to robots. Yeah.
And meanwhile, just polluting and using up millions of gallons of water in the process.
Yeah, lots and lots of electricity, ruining the world, creating hurricanes. Very cool.
Anyways, yeah, go check out the full 404 Media article for so much more detail on this topic. Links are always down in the description, and they are a fantastic outlet. But before we let go of big business and their bad ideas for the day and move on to the rest of the nonsense, let's check in with one of the biggest financial institutions, TD Bank, and see what they're up to. And surely it's nothing highly illegal or morally corrupt, right? TD Bank to pay $3 billion in historic money laundering settlement with the Justice Department.
Oh, banks aren't supposed to do that.
Ah, whoops. All right, well, here's the Associated Press with more on that. TD Bank will pay approximately $3 billion in a historic settlement with U.S. authorities, who said Thursday that the financial institution's lax practices allowed significant money laundering over multiple years. Canada-based TD Bank pleaded guilty to conspiracy to commit money laundering, the largest bank in U.S. history to do so, Attorney General Merrick Garland said. TD Bank created an environment that allowed financial crime to flourish, Garland said. By making its services convenient for criminals, it became one. High-level executives were alerted to serious problems with the bank's anti-money laundering program, but failed to correct them as employees openly joked about how easy it seemed to be for criminals to launder money there, Garland said.
What does the TD stand for? Totally dirty bank?
I guess so, Elliot.
That's probably what it is. They should have just looked at the name.
Yeah.
It continues. The bank is the 10th largest in the United States, and its CEO said the company takes full responsibility and has been cooperating with the investigation. The Justice Department said the bank allowed at least 3 different money laundering networks to move a total of $670 million through TD Bank accounts over a period of several years. The institution became the bank of choice for multiple criminals and money laundering organizations, authorities said. From fentanyl and narcotics trafficking to terrorist financing and human trafficking, TD Bank's chronic failures provided fertile ground for a host of illicit activity to penetrate our financial system, said Deputy Secretary of the Treasury Wale Adeyemo. In one case, a man moved more than $470 million in drug proceeds and other illicit funds through TD Bank branches, bribing employees with more than $57,000 in gift cards. He chose TD Bank because it had the most permissive policies, more than once depositing more than $1 million in cash in a single day and then moving the funds out of the bank with checks or wire transfers, Garland said. Yeah, that's a lot of money. All bills, huh?
Yeah.
Well, we're not going to ask where you came from.
You got that $250 Best Buy card, right?
We're a bank. We're not your mom. Hand it over.
Not going to ask anything?
Yeah.
Come on.
All right.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Anyways, before we get to the back half of this show, let's take a second to pay the bills before we have to find alternative sources of income as well. Luckily, today's episode is sponsored by two of our most loyal brands, starting with Manscaped, the global leader in men's lifestyle and grooming. Every man knows the unbeatable feeling of a fresh barbershop shave. Now, what if I told you that you no longer have to wait weeks or even months between appointments to experience it? Introducing Manscaped's newest innovation, the Chairman Pro Electric Foil Shaver, the game-changing tool that brings the luxury of a professional shave right into your home. Whether you're after that daily silky smooth finish or prefer to maintain a rugged 5 o'clock shadow, the Chairman Pro Electric Foil Shaver is your go-to for precision and style every time. Head over to manscaped.com and join the over 11 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped by using code NEWSDUMP for 20% off plus free shipping.
I use the Chairman today on my neck and my cheeks. This is a damn good foil shaver. I'm telling you. So what makes the Chairman Pro stand out? Well, it's all about versatility and precision. It comes with two interchangeable skin-safe blade heads. You have the skin-safe 4-blade foil for that close, smooth shave when you're looking to go completely clean. Or to keep a little scruff, just switch to the skin-safe stubble trimmer to keep your stubble looking sharp and polished. Both heads are designed with skin-safe technology to help reduce razor burn and irritation, so your skin feels smooth and comfortable after every shave, reducing redness or discomfort. A standout feature that truly differentiates the Chairman Pro from the rest is the FlexAdjust technology. This innovative technology ensures a superior shave by allowing both blades and the pivoting head to seamlessly adapt to the unique contours of your face and neck, helping you maintain great contact with your skin at every angle.
And here's something that's going to make your grooming routine even easier. The Chairman Pro is waterproof. Yeah, you can use it right in the shower. And the waterproof feature doesn't just make shaving easier, it also simplifies cleanup too. Just take a quick rinse under the sink and you're all set. The Chairman Pro, it's not just for daily shaves either. It's powerful enough to tackle up to 5-day growth, making it perfect whether you're shaving every day or just tidying up after a few days. And with up to 75 minutes of runtime on a single charge, you can take your time getting the perfect shave. It even has a travel lock to help make sure it doesn't accidentally turn on in your bag, and an LED spotlight to help you see every detail, ensuring nothing gets missed. Get the Chairman Pro today and experience a shave that is as smooth as you deserve. Get 20% off plus free shipping with the code NEWSDUMP at manscaped.com. That is 20% off plus free shipping with code NEWSDUMP at manscaped.com.
This episode is also sponsored by HelloFresh.
Hello.
With HelloFresh, you get farm-fresh, pre-portioned ingredients and seasonal recipes delivered right to your doorstep. Skip trips to the grocery store and count on HelloFresh to make home cooking easy, fun, and affordable. That's why it's America's #1 meal kit. Make this fall the tastiest season yet with farm-fresh produce and easy autumn-inspired recipes delivered right to your door with HelloFresh. HelloFresh delivers all the pre-portioned ingredients you'll need to make easy homemade meals. All the proteins, veggies, sauces, spices, and more arrive in your box along with simple instructions that walk you through each step in the cooking process. Nice and simple for all the dunderheads like me.
That's right. I like it quick and easy. Whip up tasty restaurant-style meals in your own kitchen without the high price tag of takeout and in less time than it takes to get delivery. HelloFresh has tons of options for whatever you're craving. Choose from a changing menu of over 50 recipes each week. Plus, take your pick from over 100 market add-on items like desserts, breakfast, and snacks. Choose meals that match you and your family's lifestyle, with preferences like fit and wholesome, quick and easy, or vegetarian. You will always find something to love with HelloFresh. We're busy boys, so we love HelloFresh's quick and easy recipes, like this week's Hall of Fame one-pan banh mi style beef tacos, clocking in at just 20 minutes of cooking and prep. Get 10 free meals at HelloFresh.com/free-newsdump. Applied across 7 boxes with new subscribers only, varies by plan. That is 10 free HelloFresh meals just by going to HelloFresh.com/free-news-dump. HelloFresh, America's #1 meal kit.
All right, back to the news now. And this election year, candidates have had to go a little bit out of their comfort zone in order to reach potential voters because a lot of younger people don't consume as much traditional media as the generations before them. And by younger people, I mean people younger than 40. Luckily or unluckily, depending on where you stand, politicians have been meeting many voters where they hang out. For Trump, that means courting Elon Musk and having him dance around on stage like an idiot in order to secure the libertarian tech bro vote.
Yeah, I guess.
I could throw a couple other words in there, but I won't.
Yeah.
Or appearing on Aiden Ross's podcast in order to secure the coveted 13 to 17-year-old boy vote.
Great job, sir.
Yeah, real good use of your time. For Kamala Harris, that has meant going on podcasts that are highly popular with millennial and Gen Z women. And for some reason, appearing on Howard Stern in order to secure the whack pack and elderly Democrat vote. And maybe take a ride on the Sibian.
Oh my God. Okay, well.
That's what his guests do. I don't know what's the problem. All right, let's see the whole 360. TOPLESS.
You'll do it when you get up. We're going to have Ronnie the limo driver call in and Beetlejuice come in here.
It is incredibly bizarre to me that Howard Stern has managed to clean up his image to this point.
That's what I'm saying. His show is primarily listened to by like elderly Democrats and
that's fucking weird.
And aging comedians.
It used to be like New York City construction workers and people who it's what happened?
Madam Vice President, come in here. We got a girl set up and ready to. You're gonna do butthole ring toss. Now, for Tim Walz, however, this has meant appearing live on Twitch in a way that will hopefully secure.
Is he playing Crazy Taxi?
That would be great. Now, in a way that will hopefully secure the ADHD-riddled gamer vote, because he recently broadcast a rally alongside a streamer playing World of Warcraft. You know, side by side. All the kids love it. At least
it's not Subway Surfers.
Now, it is pretty cringe, but hey, whatever works. And the fact that he's done this collaboration has blessed us with a truly incredible piece of media from Fox News, which we will get to in a second. But first, with more on this gamer outreach, here's the New York Times. Vice President Kamala Harris's campaign bridged the real world with the World of Warcraft on Wednesday, live streaming Governor Tim Walz's rally in Arizona via Twitch, while a Twitch streamer played the role-playing game and provided commentary about his rally. Preheat, a Twitch streamer and World of Warcraft player with about 50,000 followers, hosted the stream from the Harris campaign's account and encouraged the viewers to vote for her.
The screen was split, with Mr. Walz's rally in Tucson on the left and gameplay on the right. The stream mimicked a tactic used to gin up visual interest in short-form video content, such as putting gameplay from Subway Surfers, a mobile game, side by side with something else. The Harris campaign has used this trick, posting a TikTok in which Subway Surfers gameplay was placed next to a clip of Mr. Trump discussing the overturn of Roe v. Wade. Preheat occasionally butted in with commentary on the game or the election. Project 2025? Not good. Very weird, Preheat said about the conservative playbook Democrats often criticize as he attacked the boss in World of Warcraft. Later, he spoke over Mr. Walz's speech, wondering about his character. Wait, am I dying? Whether or not this tactic will add any votes to the Harris campaign is anyone's guess.
Probably not.
It did result in some truly surreal reactions from Fox News, where one of their hosts, Janine Pirro, tried to explain what was going on in a way that only a person in their mid-70s could.
Yeah.
So please enjoy.
I had to look up the World of Warcraft because I didn't know what it was. And I found out that it is like this video game. And I think they wanted to be cool with Walz. And so they have a kid playing this Warcraft game, video game. It's up on the screen while Walz is speaking. Walz doesn't learn the game. He doesn't play the game. He doesn't do anything with the game. They just have this thing up there while Walz is speaking. So you got this World of Warcraft video game that's 20 years old, and it's not even, by the way, in the top 15 games now. And
you did a deep dive.
Gotta have Walz, who doesn't even go to war. He ditches the battalion before war and can't even make believe he's playing in a war.
All right, so we consider that a win. Just because they got Fox News talking about it in a completely detached and surreal way. And just for reference, Tim Walz is a gamer. We've been over this. He was so addicted to Crazy Taxi that his Dreamcast had to be taken away from him. Tim, you're going to ruin your life.
He voluntarily gave it away.
Yeah.
He sold it to one of his students. Take this away to a state college, far, far away from here.
Just like Jimmy Carter's peanut farm, he will have to give up video games during the administration.
We've never had a gamer president, and we never will.
But let's take a moment to check in on Donald Trump, who is absolutely as lucid and as comprehensible as ever.
Looking and sounding great.
In one clip, he's seen speaking in Detroit, where he claimed in front of people who ostensibly live in Detroit that if he loses the election, the whole country will turn into Detroit.
Brilliant, fucking brilliant. I love this so much. If I lose, this whole country's gonna be a fucking shithole. It's gonna be, folks, it's gonna be like Detroit.
Yeah. Masterful game.
Where am I again? Shit.
Here's the clip.
The whole country is going to be like, you want to know the truth? It'll be like Detroit. Our whole country will end up being like Detroit if she's your president. You're going to have a mess on your hands.
And then there was a clip of him where he continued his war on wind in this clip, calling the wind bullshit.
The wind, it sounds so wonderful. The wind is bullshit. I'll tell you, it's horrible.
But while he's always a clip machine, here's some news that should actually bother you about Trump somehow getting back into the White House. During the peak of the pandemic, Donald Trump rerouted vital testing supplies from U.S. distributors, clinics, and hospitals and sent them directly to Vladimir Putin. And this came to light in a new book by Bob Woodward, who has written some of the most detailed books about the Trump presidency in recent years, and was also, of course, one of the reporters who broke Watergate back in the 70s. So with more on this bizarre and potentially traitorous deal, here's the Associated Press. Vice President Harris is criticizing Donald Trump following new reporting by the journalist Bob Woodward that the former president secretly shared COVID-19 test machines with Russia's Vladimir Putin at a moment in 2020 when tests were out of reach for most Americans. The revelation, first reported by CNN and The Washington Post on Tuesday, is detailed in a forthcoming book called War by the famed Watergate journalist about Trump's record on the international stage as well as President Biden's.
According to the book, Trump sent the secret shipment of testing equipment to the Russian leader at the height of the pandemic in 2020, even as the US and other nations were facing crippling shortages of testing kits. I don't want you to tell anybody because people will get mad at you, not me. They don't care about me, Putin told Trump, according to the book. Trump responded, I don't care, fine, according to Woodward. NPR has not independently verified the account, which was based on interviews with unnamed sources. Asked about the report during an interview Tuesday with Howard Stern,
Topless.
Harris said Woodward's reporting was an example of why Trump cannot be trusted as commander-in-chief, because she said he is easily manipulated by authoritarians he hopes to befriend. The Trump campaign has dismissed the book as made-up stories written by a deranged man, according to a statement by its communications director, Stephen Chung. Odd job. It is a relationship that appears to have continued even after Trump left the White House, according to Woodward, who reports that the former president may have spoken to Putin as many as 7 times since Biden took office. In one episode reported by Woodward, Trump ordered an aide away from his office at Mar-a-Lago in order to take a private call with Putin early in 2024. What the fuck? What?
Seems like it would be a big issue.
That's pretty fucking wild.
Yeah, we're currently...
We'll get you the testing.
We're not at war. We're in a proxy war.
Also, did they say what's the quantity we're talking about here with, the testing equipment?
So, I don't know, but the fact that it was at the height of the pandemic when people in the U.S. were unable to get this stuff makes it pretty damning.
But it's I can't imagine they shipped more than what could have been used by maybe just Putin himself and a few people around him.
Yeah, I don't know.
Interesting.
But let's round out today's episode with some hurricane updates. And while the damage to the southern states continues to grow, we should probably point out something very, very important. One of the Trump campaign's goals for their next term, if he were to win, is that the Trump administration would do away with or heavily defund a ton of vital government programs, one of which is the NOAA, or National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, which is the government agency that has provided vital, life-saving information and tracking to citizens of these southeastern states during these major storms. PBS NewsHour recently did a report detailing the plans to dismantle agencies like the NOAA and others, and here's some of that reporting. Project 2025 is the Conservative Heritage Foundation's policy blueprint for a Republican administration. Trump has disavowed it, but it was written by several former Trump administration officials. In 2022, when Trump gave a keynote speech at a heritage event in Florida, he said the organization would lay the groundwork and detail plans for exactly what our movement will do. So again, despite him claiming that he wants nothing to do with it, this is the plan that they have in place for the Republican Party.
Yeah.
Just because he tries to distance himself because it's bad press, and he's at least...
Heritage, they overplayed their hand.
Yes.
They got overconfident and they put it out there, and people read it and were like, oh my God, this is crazy. And they're like, oh wait, you weren't supposed to see that.
And by the way, Trump's Agenda 47 makes a lot of the same
goddamn
claims.
thing.
Yeah, so this is the plan.
Project 2025 includes about 4 pages on NOAA and the National Weather Service. That part was written by Thomas F. Gilman, who was an official in Trump's Commerce Department. The document describes NOAA as a primary component of the climate change alarm industry and said it should be broken up and downsized. The National Weather Service, one of 6 NOAA offices, provides weather and climate forecasts and warnings. The National Hurricane Center is part of the National Weather Service within NOAA. Project 2025 would not outright end the National Weather Service. It says the agency should focus on its data gathering services and should fully commercialize its forecasting operations. It said that commercialization of the weather technologies should be prioritized to ensure that taxpayer dollars are invested in the most cost-efficient technologies for high-quality research and weather data. Investing in commercial partners will increase competition, Project 2025 said. Yeah, national weather reports sounds like communism. Which, yeah, as we explained to you earlier this week, this is a horrible idea because that plan has the potential or the goal of restricting vital information about storms like these to people who are willing to pay for the most up-to-date and detailed info and forecasts. For a deeper dive on what that would look like, John Oliver did a huge deep dive on an episode of Last Week Tonight about the privatization of weather reporting. We'll link to it down below alongside the PBS report.
Yeah. All right, now to the sort of funny or at least ridiculous side of the most recent storm. In the wake of Hurricane Helene, we saw a few very bad examples of AI-generated art being passed off as real in order to demonize the current administration for the made-up failures in disaster relief aid. The most notable was the image of a young girl crying while holding a puppy in floodwaters.
It's still real to me.
Yeah, well, this latest hurricane has done the opposite with AI creations in a way that rightfully mocks those who tried to pass off the other AI images as legitimate. Images have now surfaced that include alligators wearing life preservers rescuing children on the water, the Disney character Pluto rescuing a child from floodwaters in Disney World while wearing a skirt,
Woke.
and kids rescuing actual dinosaurs. I mean, it's absolutely insane, but it's at least a decent demonstration of why this is all so stupid.
And unfortunately, there are definitely people out there who saw these pictures and was like, damn, I didn't know dinosaurs were real.
Well, that's the hurricane finally revealed.
I always knew Pluto was a real one, though.
Yeah.
I always liked that Pluto.
Not Goofy, though.
I just wish he wouldn't wear that dress.
Not that Goofy. Not after what he did as president of the United States.
No, no, no. These images and more have been proliferating online, mostly under posts that read, I can't believe the images I am seeing coming out of Florida today. Or just straight up copies of the original text above the girl and the puppy, but added above completely surreal imagery. I don't know where this photo came from, and honestly, it doesn't matter. It is seared into my mind forever. Or heartbreaking images, all above dinosaurs, aliens, dogs rescuing people, and Disney characters. Truly incredible stuff that, while made with AI, at least pushes back on the previous debunked images that were passed off as legitimate by boomers on Facebook. My favorite ones were the ones where Trump was like personally rescuing people.
Yeah.
Like waist deep in water.
Yeah.
What's Sleepy Joe doing? He's not out there personally rescuing people like Donald Trump is in this very real photograph that I just saw.
And as we saw, the responses that people were sending to their parents and grandparents of, this isn't real, it's AI generated. And
but it feels real.
The response back being, I don't care, it's happening. Mm-hmm. So, dangerous stuff.
The fact that I thought it real really says a lot about the way things are.
Uh-huh. Anyways, that's it for today's episode. We'll be back with maybe some robo-taxi news. Are your Teslas ready to start making you money? But yeah, if you like the video first.
Yes.
Leave a comment below. Talk about anything we discussed today. Put your favorite LinkedIn lunatic in the comments section below and let people do the work of voting up their favorite. Mm-hmm. Also, subscribe to the channel if you're not already. There's also a thank button, a join button if you want to contribute. Now, there's some videos for you to watch. We got the Cybertruck Copmobile. It's doing all the dirty work down there in
It's
Irvine.
not, though. It's really not, actually.
And we also have a video that completely debunks a ton of hurricane conspiracies that spawned out of Helene. So check both of those out, and we'll see you for some weird news really soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye.